All right, guys, there was another win for the Browns. Do you feel good about it? Did it make you feel good? I don't know that it made me feel good, to be honest, but maybe even closer to feeling good than the last game where we were largely just struggling the whole time. I think one of the major takeaways from this game is that run, for sure, is what we need to go with. Baker had no excuses. Weather was great. Still missing passes all over the place. Still not hitting wide open people. But let's go ahead and just start with the classic Browns moments of this game. So the first classic Browns moment would have occurred probably actually at halftime when we were having momentum. We were going to get the ball. We had just scored, and we were, starting to come into our own, really, just starting to implement what we can do in Cleveland. And go figure, we fumble the kickoff. There's some kind of merit to having, a hold on the lead and then coming into the second half where you get to start the ball. That's kind of like ideally what you want to do. When you don't end up starting with the ball, that's your whole thought, your whole goal. But if you start by fumbling the ball, that doesn't help. I think we can all agree on that, right? I think we can all agree on that. But that's what the Browns do. But that's not even the worst. The most classic Browns moment would have came when they were literally down to maybe 5-6 minutes in the game, 4th and 10. The quarterback drops back, 2 people unblocked. Vernon's coming around the side, but it doesn't matter because the quarterback's already going to be wrapped up on the other side. He's basically just getting ready to take the sack. And Vernon decides he's going to just knock his entire head off. So he goes straight at him, basically kind of looks like he's trying to spear him. No real helmet contact, but you can clearly tell that there was no pulling up from him. He just was going to nail him. And, of course, it's going to be a roughing the passer. It's going to be a first down. We literally could have had a loss of more yards after being 10 yards behind the line to gain. But instead, we gave them a first down. Now, you recall last week, almost the same exact situation. 2 people were going to smash in on Wentz, and then it turns out he got out, but somebody was able to get him. But Sendejo is out there creating personal fouls, so they just got a first down again. I don't know how the Browns can manage to always do this. It's okay if you mess this up once or twice. Hey, we're actually a lot less penalized now than we were with Hugh Jackson. So, there's things to look forward to here with us getting better and more disciplined, but these kind of things just can't happen. They just can't happen. If the guy's going down, what are you even worried about hitting the guy for anyway? Go low. Take his legs out. You had a straight line on a guy who's not moving. Just standing. Just literally was falling down. All you got to do is just hit him or maybe even just avoid him at that point. It doesn't matter. You just can't spear the guy. And that's what we did. Classic Browns moment. You can't just keep the momentum. You can't just allow the team to do what it does and celebrate and get off the field. We can't. We got to give them another chance. And then, sure enough, I believe in that same drive, we let a guy break free down the sideline. No coverage up top. Granted, we did just lose Harrison in the first play of the game again. We finally had a fully healthy secondary, and we started without Ward. We didn't have Garrett today again, but now we're out without Harrison. So, Sendejo's going to have to step up a little bit again. Can't be knocking down rookies and causing penalties like he did last week. Well, it doesn't matter because we just let this guy run up the side. They had a clever play which pulled people off to the right, but we had somebody up top who really shouldn't have been as far over as they were, but it just, too many people guessed wrong, and it was like a free touchdown for them. It made no sense. But Baker Mayfield, let's talk about this guy. I say it every single week. I don't really like the guy. I don't know that we should give him any money after this. People are saying we're afraid to let him have a chance. We're giving this guy the easiest chances out there, and he's missing them. Last game, underthrew a guy in the end zone, then he overthrew a guy in the end zone. Today, literally, there were just people wide open. There was a time when the pocket was collapsing, there was a guy who was wide open. Nobody was within 10 yards of this guy. All you had to do was just throw it right at him. And Baker, wasn't actually having to scramble at this point. He was just sort of standing there looking like, okay, there's my guy. And he threw it off his feet. Of course, he wasn't running. Turns out Baker can really only throw when he's running. But yeah, I mean, you're a quarterback. You're standing in one place. There's a wide open guy. All you have to do is put it somewhere where he could catch it. Missed him entirely. Like, how can you not just be embarrassed if you're Baker Mayfield? It doesn't matter if you've got a short-term memory and you're just trying to forget these plays. Things like this are crazy. Like, I don't want to see any more of your commercials until you figure out how to just throw the ball. Just be a quarterback. Just throw the ball. That's all you got to work on. I don't know what you're doing in these practices, but it's clearly not throwing the ball. You're missing open guys. If Landry didn't have stick 'em all over his gloves and wasn't like some sort of freak athlete, picking the ball off his shoelaces, pulling the ball off his butt, pulling the ball from behind him, in front of him, off his face, wherever it's not supposed to be, if he wasn't able to catch it so many times today and get us these first downs, we probably wouldn't have won. We would have probably just lost this game because Baker cannot hit a damn target. And he's just supposed to be the most accurate guy around, but he's not. He's done. He's terrible. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm just tired of seeing it. So, I don't know, and then of course he misses Landry on a rollout after that too. Right after, the play after. Landry's just rolling out the side. All Baker has to do is just casually toss it into him and let him run. Missed it. Up here, like, Landry's going to have to grow like an extra foot. He's going to then have to jump somehow, and then like maybe the wind is going to have to play in his favor. That's how he catches that ball. But no, unfortunately, Mother Nature wasn't there at the game. So I don't know what to do with this guy. But we win. So I hate to sit here and pick it apart, and I hate to sit here and talk about how terrible the team is, and I hate to sit here and say, what are we doing? Because right now, when you look at it, the Ravens are maybe going to have to forfeit this game, but if they do play, they're probably not going to win. And in that case, we now have 2 more wins than them, and we're looking a lot better in the playoff picture all of a sudden. And it's strange to say that, and it's strange that it's happened this way, but we basically beat the people that we needed to beat. And that's kind of the way it's been in Cleveland for the last couple of years through the building. Just doing enough to get there. And I'm going to be happy if we make the playoffs, and I'm going to count it as an accomplishment. It's literally going to feel like when the Blue Jackets finally made it, and then they started repeating making it, and then they finally made it out when they swept that team. I mean, it's been a growing thing. I haven't really loved hockey my whole life, but I've really become a big CBJ fan just because of the fact that they're building. And so if we can continue to build, that's great. But I don't know that we can just love the success. It is success. The numbers are going up in the win column, and that fixes everything. But what's it hiding? When we start losing a couple games here at the end, when we start playing harder teams, what's it going to look like then? Are we going to fold? Are we going to crumble? Are we going to keep doing what we're doing? I mean, I saw a play today where we had 2 running backs in, 1 on each side. Baker could have had his choice at who he wanted to actually run. I mean, I like seeing that because now we're giving Baker a chance to throw a little bit, but we're also still including our main characters, the 2 running backs who basically got us through everything. And Hooper had a little more usage today, so there's positives here. I mean, it's not all bad, but it's really not something that I think we can be too excited about yet. So beating a team without its people in its secondary, and they didn't have Chark, their wide receiver, and they're on like their backup quarterback now. So I mean, this could have been like a scrimmage game. Really, it was almost like we were in a scrimmage, and we still managed to keep it within 2 points. I can't say that and be excited, but I don't know, Browns fans. How many more of these are we gonna get? Couple hard games coming up. We're gonna end up having to play Pittsburgh again. We're gonna end up having to play Baltimore again. There's some people that we're going to end up having to come up against that will probably end up beating us, and maybe will end up making us look stupid and expose our weaknesses. Will we be able to carry any momentum into the playoffs? I mean, these are the things you can start thinking about now, because the numbers are there to say that if we literally just win a couple more games, we will probably make the playoffs. But what will we do with that? Will we go out immediately? I mean, I just don't want to be embarrassed. I say this about the Buckeyes in some of their rougher years. I want to, make the college football playoffs, but I don't want to get blown out. And unfortunately, last year we got robbed blind with all that BS that happened in the friggin' Clemson game. Very reminiscent of today. I mean, we see Kareem Hunt lunge forward on the replay for a first down, but for some reason this guy decides he's going to spot the ball again, which is very subjective. He could put it here, there. Oh, but then it's off by that much. So, I mean, if he would have just thought that his eyes saw a pixel over a pixel this way, I mean, a bunch of stupid stuff. And then it happened again. We tried to get a first down, and then somebody else had to just sort of guess. I mean, you see the one line judge come in over here, and then you see the other one come here, and you're like, okay, they'll meet in the middle. But like, no, I don't know. This guy, I guess, was just the guy. So they went with this guy instead. And again, it was that close, but so it's so subjective. I mean, that gets frustrating when that happens. I literally, and then they try to take our challenge away. That made no sense to me. I was shouting at the TV about that not making any sense. But luckily, we have New York getting involved in everything now, so they can call down and say, you guys don't know what you're doing. Thank God for that. Otherwise, that might have been something that really screwed us over, and I don't know. But anyway, the point is, it's a win, guys. Enjoy it. They're not really opening up Bud Light coolers in, town anymore for these kind of celebrations, but it's good. It's good to have a win, and it's good to be ahead of the Ravens. There's a lot of things that we can say, and maybe if people haven't been watching the games, they'll actually start believing the Browns are good if we say these things. But between you and I, we know that no one's excited yet. But oh well, win's a win. Let's ride it out, guys, and hopefully next time around we won't have so much struggles. I mean, we can't hope for a positively amazing weather game every time, but let's hope for something.